Well, Steve and I were talking, and he told me that they were putting together a trip to Nairobi and Lodwar to see the kids, to see everything they do with their SERV program. And it's really, really important that you go and see exactly what Zurvita is doing. They're saving lives. We landed in Nairobi, and you really did see the poverty and the desperation of the people.
We had a chance to see the facility where the food was getting made in Nairobi, grown and harvested and dehydrated by widows. Widows are kind of cast out by the community in this particular culture, but this is another way that it's able to help widows have purpose and kind of thrive in the culture given the circumstances.
After we mixed the food and bagged those, we loaded them on the Jeeps and took them out to the slums of Nairobi. That was really eye-opening in seeing the starvation, the kids running around scavenging, looking for food.
The greeting when we were there was something I will never forget. I remember the pastor and the head of that school in this slum had shared with us is that everything really starts with food.
So when the children would come and there were no meals, they would leave. This place that they have created now, because of Zurvita's efforts, has created consistency in the meals.
We eventually get to Lodwar, which is kind of in the northern Kenyan desert, to see the impact of these meals and to see the reach and the impact of SERV. It really comes together in the House of Hope orphanage.
There was about 65 kids there that greeted us at the gate, singing and dancing and just so excited to see us because they know what Zurvita has done, what SERV has done for them in providing a safe place for them to live and have a family.
We showed up to a series of different communities, both to deliver food and also to rescue children in need. The very first child that we rescued was Erakuti, who later became known as Nancy.
She was living in a hut made of twigs. I got down on my knees. She wrapped her arms around me and just did not let go. When I picked her up, she only weighed about 15 pounds, and she's 4 years old. And she hadn't eaten in a couple of days. Once we got into the House of Hope, the children just surrounded us. They had made dinner. She had never seen that much food. She kind of just sat there and stared at it. So I went over there and I spoon-fed her, and the joy you saw come into her from looking around and seeing other kids that were her age and older, and she captured my heart.
With our trip to Namoranyang, we had these children coming up, and many of them were dealing with severe pneumonia. There's not a hospital down the street. These remote communities, they don't have that ability. That was the first day that I really got to see Dr. James in action. He is a medical doctor and he is employed by SERV, but with the partnership with Zurvita, Dr. James has more resources now than ever before. There were children there who could barely get the breath out of their lungs that are getting injectable antibiotics to have the pneumonia treated. Without Dr. James's presence there, without people coming together for that food, that opportunity may not have existed for that child.
We thought we were providing a meal for 3 days, and that in and of itself is amazing. But then to expand it and to go beyond that, where you're saving lives, where you're providing a home atmosphere, where you're building churches, where you're teaching about who God is and creating these communities where people care for one another. It is so much more than what we ever thought.
We have a responsibility to go out there and serve others. And what makes what we're doing so special is that Zurvita consultants are physically saving lives, and I think that's a very special thing and a privilege to be able to do.
We are so grateful because they know who we are. They know that SERV cares for them. They know that Zurvita cares for them, and they know how to say thank you.